You turn on the faucet, nothing comes out. Not a drip, not a trickle. The water is off, and you have exactly 1 hour to secure every drop of water still left in your home before it's gone forever. Most people waste that hour. They call the water company, they check their neighbors, they post on social media asking if anyone else has lost water. And while they're doing that, the water that's already in their house, the water they could have saved, is draining away through toilets that keep running, through pipes that are equalizing pressure, through appliances that are still trying to work. 1 hour. That's how long you have between the moment the water stops and the moment your home is completely dry. After that, you're dependent on whatever you stored, whatever you can find, or whatever you can take from other sources. And in a real water crisis, those options disappear fast. So what do you do in that first hour? I'm going to give you the exact protocol, step by step, that will capture 40 to 60 gallons of water from a home that appears to have none. That's enough drinking water for one person for 20 days. For a family of 4, that's 5 days of survival. But you have to move fast, and you have to know exactly what to do. Here's what most people don't understand about home water systems. When the municipal supply shuts off, your house doesn't instantly go dry. There's water trapped in your pipes. There's water in your water heater. There's water in the tank behind your toilet. There's even water in your radiators if you have them. The average home has between 40 and 80 gallons of water still inside it after the main supply stops. But that water is under pressure, or it's in places people don't think to look, or it's draining away into the sewer system while you're standing there wondering what happened. The U.S. municipal water systems are not designed for resilience. One power outage, one cyber attack, one contamination event, and entire cities can lose water in minutes. It happened in Jackson, Mississippi in 2022. It happened in Flint, Michigan. It happened in Texas during the 2021 freeze when treatment plants shut down. And here's the critical thing. When a city loses water, it doesn't come back quickly. Jackson was without reliable water for weeks. Some residents in Flint went months. You cannot assume this is a temporary inconvenience. You have to treat the first hour like it's the only chance you'll get. So, the moment you realize the water is off, you stop everything else and you execute this protocol. Step 1. Shut off your main water valve. This is the valve where the city water line enters your house, usually in the basement or near the water heater. Turn it clockwise until it stops. Why? Because even though the city supply is off, water is still flowing inside your house. It's equalizing, it's draining backwards through your pipes into the main line or into the sewer. When you close that valve, you trap whatever water is still in your home's plumbing system. You've just preserved 10 to 20 gallons that would have been lost. Step 2. Fill every container you have, right now, not later, now. Pots, pans, pitchers, Tupperware, empty soda bottles, vases, buckets, trash cans lined with clean garbage bags. Anything that holds liquid, you fill it, from any faucet that still has residual water. Start with the highest faucet in your house, usually a second-floor bathroom. Gravity is still working. There's water in the pipes above that faucet, and it'll drain down when you open the tap. Fill everything you can from that faucet first. Then move to the next highest faucet and repeat. Work your way down through your house, floor by floor, faucet by faucet. You're harvesting the water that's trapped in the pipes by letting gravity do the work. You'll get maybe 5 to 15 gallons this way, depending on your house layout. It doesn't sound like much, but that's 3 days of drinking water for one person, and you're only 2 minutes into the protocol. Step 3. Drain your hot water heater. This is the big one. Most people never think of this. Your water heater holds 30 to 50 gallons of clean, drinkable water. It's sitting right there in your basement or utility closet, and it's still full even though your tops are dry. Here's how you access it. First, turn off the power or gas to the heater. You don't want it trying to heat empty space. Then, locate the drain valve at the bottom of the tank. It looks like a garden hose connection. Attach a hose if you have one, or just put a bucket under it. Open the valve and let the water flow out. But here's the trick. You also need to open the pressure relief valve at the top of the tank. That's the small lever usually on the side near the top. If you don't open that, air can't get in to replace the water and the flow will stop after a few gallons. Open both valves and you'll get the full tank, 30 to 50 gallons of clean water. You're now at the 20-minute mark. You've captured maybe 40 to 70 gallons of water from a house that appeared to be dry. Now comes the critical part, protecting and rationing what you have. Step 7. Cover everything. Every container of water you've collected needs to be covered. Use lids, plastic wrap, aluminum foil, anything that creates a seal. This prevents evaporation, prevents contamination, and keeps bugs and debris out. Label containers. Drinking water in one area, non-drinking water in another. You do not want to confuse rusty radiator water with clean tank water 3 days from now when you're dehydrated and not thinking clearly. Step 8. Stop all water use immediately. This sounds obvious, but people forget. No flushing toilets, no washing hands under the top out of habit, no brushing teeth with running water. You are now in strict water rationing mode. For toilet flushing, you use the bucket method. Keep a bucket of non-drinking water next to each toilet. When someone needs to flush, they pour the bucket into the bowl. 1 gallon per flush. You don't use your clean drinking water for this. For hygiene, you use wet wipes or a damp cloth. 1 liter of water on a cloth can wash your entire body if you're efficient. You don't need running water. You need to preserve every drop for drinking. Step 9. Calculate your supply. An average person needs half a gallon to 1 gallon of drinking water per day to survive, more in heat or if you're active. If you captured 50 gallons and you're alone, that's 50 to 100 days of drinking water if you're disciplined.
If you're a family of 4, that's 12 to 25 days. Write this down. Know your timeline. This tells you whether you need to start looking for additional sources immediately or whether you can wait for the situation to resolve. Step 10. Identify your next water sources. You've bought yourself time, but you need to think ahead. Where will you get water when your home supply runs out? Nearby streams, ponds, or lakes? Rainwater collection? Neighbors who have wells? If you have a life straw or water filter, you're in good shape. If you don't, you need to plan for boiling. And boiling requires fuel. Do you have enough propane, charcoal, or wood to boil water for the next week? This is the planning you do in the back half of your first hour. You've secured what you have, now you prepare for what comes next. Let me give you a real scenario. Texas, February 2021. Power grid fails, temperatures drop, water treatment plants freeze. 4 million people lose water simultaneously. The ones who survived best weren't the ones with the biggest stockpiles. They were the ones who moved fast in the first hour. They drained their water heaters. They filled their bathtubs before the pressure dropped completely. They shut off their main valves to trap water in their pipes. They collected 50, 60, 70 gallons, while their neighbors were still calling the water company asking when service would be restored. Those neighbors ran out of water in 2 days and had to stand in lines for bottled water rations. The prepared ones had enough water to last a week or more, entirely from what was already in their homes. Here's what you need to do tonight. Find your main water shutoff valve right now, not tomorrow, tonight. Know where it is. Know how to turn it. Some valves are stiff, some require a wrench. Figure this out before you need it. Second, walk through your house and count your water sources. How many faucets? How many toilets? What size is your water heater? How many containers could you fill in an emergency? Write this down. Third, buy a few extra storage containers. 5-gallon buckets with lids are cheap. Collapsible water jugs are even better. Keep them empty and stocked somewhere accessible. When the water goes off, you'll have containers ready. And fourth, get a basic water filter. Life Straw, Sawyer, anything that removes bacteria and parasites. $20. It extends your timeline from weeks to months because it lets you safely use water from sources you otherwise couldn't drink. The water doesn't stop running as a warning. It just stops. 1 minute it's there, the next it's not. And you have 1 hour to capture what's left before your house is dry. 1 hour to secure 40 to 60 gallons that could keep you alive for weeks. Most people waste that hour in confusion and denial. You won't, because now you know the protocol, and when the water stops, you'll execute it. Stay prepared, stay calm, and remember, the water in your home right now is the water you'll wish you'd saved when the tops run dry.